Y'all remember, like, back during the campaign, right? Trump was always talking about crime-ridden cities. Like, you couldn't walk out your front door. You couldn't go to restaurants. Cities were war zones, and he was going to have to send in the feds and clean it all up. Remember that? Yeah. No, you don't remember that because that's not what happened. What you do remember is him talking about crime in the same breath as immigrants. Crime because of immigrants, deportations, caravans, the migrant crime wave. It wasn't crime in general, it was crime tied to immigration. And mixed in with that, ending endless wars, cheaper groceries. That was the rally script. But now, suddenly crime is the crisis. Suddenly America's cities are supposed to be war zones where you can't walk out the door without getting attacked. And here's the thing, you know this is a play. It's not new. It's not original. And it's not about keeping people safe. Back in the 1930s, Mustache Man pulled the same move. He didn't just talk about criminals in the streets, he turned entire groups of people into criminals. He cast Jews as corrupting German society, foreigners as dangerous outsiders, and communists as violent conspirators. He painted them all as enemies of the state, as the reason for economic collapse, social unrest, and national weakness. Then, using that fear, he stripped people of rights, silenced opposition, and called it law and order. That's how authoritarianism works. You don't solve problems, you invent threats, exaggerate them, and then point to yourself as the only solution. You don't unite people, you divide them. You convince the public that neighbors aren't neighbors anymore, they're enemies, and that disagreement isn't just politics, it's crime. Fast forward to Trump. His polling numbers on immigration started to slip because the cruelty was deeply unpopular. So now he flips the script to crime. He calls your cities dangerous. He says only he can fix it. And you don't question it. You just repeat it back as if crime was what you were worried about all along. But here's the truth. You weren't talking about crime. You weren't out there saying you couldn't go to restaurants or open your front door because it was too dangerous. That wasn't you. That wasn't the conversation. You were talking about immigrants and deportation. This is new. And it's only here because he told you it was. That's not strength. That's weakness. It's not independence. It's being played. So maybe stop and ask yourself, do you actually believe crime is the #1 problem in America right now? Or are you just repeating the script he handed you?